Well, everyone, this is what's left of the Cabrini Green housing projects. When I used to work at the jail, this is where I used to investigate a lot of times, and it was a really scary place. If you Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Also, too, the pretend fictional character Candyman was based out of here. So check it out, and wow, the end of an era. That's it for Cabrini Green. In the summer of 2010, Cabrini Green was no more. The infamous high-rises were a symbol of urban blight at one time, towering testaments to the failure of Chicago public housing to give safer shelter to the poorest of the poor. But to the remaining residents being ousted from the complex in the summer of 2010, Cabrini Green was simply home. The closure of Cabrini Green's high-rises marked the end of an ugly era in public housing. The 70-acre development was initially hauled as a salvation to the city's poor that was emulated nationwide, but it quickly decayed into a virtual war zone, the kind of place where little boys were gunned down on their way to school, and little girls were sexually assaulted and left for dead in the stairwells. With just one building set to fall, mixed-income townhomes, shops, and other development will go up in Cabrini's Green Place, erasing from the landscape the island of poverty that the high-rises had become. Cabrini Green sits literally in the shadows of downtown Chicago's gleaming skyscrapers. A few blocks away, handbags sell for more money than a Cabrini Green resident paid in rent for a whole year. The Cabrini Green development began on Chicago's north side in 1942, and row houses named for St. Francis Xavier Cabrini, the Roman Catholic patron saint of immigrants. A few years later, high-rises and mid-rises were added. Eventually, Cabrini Green housed up to 13,000 people or more. The building, however, weren't well kept, and crime and drugs soon became very rampant. The complex drew national attention in 1981 after a gang war killed 11 residents in 3 months. Then Mayor Jane Byrne and her husband moved into the Cabrini Green apartment for 3 weeks to publicize her efforts to clean up the area. In 1992, a Cabrini Green resident hiding in a vacant 10th-floor apartment shot and killed 7-year-old Dontrell Davis as he walked to the school holding his mother's hand. 5 years later, a 9-year-old girl, known simply as Girl X, was found raped, choked, and poisoned, and left in a stairwell with gang graffiti scribbled on her body. The Chicago Housing Authority developed a sweeping plan to overhaul public housing and move away from the high-rise model of warehousing the poor. This closed down in 2010. This is my story. This is Omen X, Damian. Take care.